All right, guys, welcome to the Griddle Guy channel. Tonight we have a quick little hack, although if you're an Instapot owner, you probably already know it, but a quick little hack on how to make pulled pork in about an hour for a weeknight meal. And leftovers are always great too. So if you stick around, we're gonna show you that. We're gonna turn out something delicious. Hope you join us.
Well, after that intro, if anybody came back, thank you for coming back. Nate's hack, here you go. It's like a 50-year-old pot.
Pressure cooker pot. Pressure cooker.
I know a couple pressure cookers.
Grandma's pot. Oh, you know. Yeah. So yes, this is his magic deal right here.
It's not the Instapot that everybody out there has nowadays. Granted, it might be 20 or 30 or 40
You can actually look at the handle on this.
It was handed down from the third generation of the fourth uncle that gave Chris his food chopper there.
Yeah, right. Don't give me crap for the stuff I am.
You're right, I do. I give you crap for your food processor. We should put them side by side and take them on the Antiques Roadshow. See which one's older.
Which one's worth more? My knives are still sharp.
Must be a Cuisinart.
Boom. This is going in here. 45 minutes under pressure. Then he does some magic there. You got to stick around and watch that. All fun aside, good stuff.
Cheap too.
So pulled pork is rich and heavy. So my thought with this meal is I want something to contrast that richness and heaviness. So pickled onion works, and I'm gonna do a little bit of fresh cucumber too. So you sort of get that crunch, that vinegar, and then when you go back to the pulled pork. But Jeff makes the best pickled onions. So before we get the pork in, he wants the pickled onions in the fridge to cool down. So Jeff, how do you make your pickled onions?
I'm not sure who originated this recipe. I stole it from someone.
It was good the last time you made it, I remember.
But it's really good.
Every time he makes it, it's good.
Nate was nice enough to chop up some onion, or one onion for, what's that, like a medium-sized red onion?
No, it was a pretty fat one.
All right.
Good, pretty big onion.
So I got some hot water boiling. Just gonna pour that over diced onion.
See, and I feel like I could skip that step because I can eat an onion like an apple, but that's just me.
So this helps it
Did you
absorb.
record on that? I don't know if you did or not.
This helps it absorb.
Jeff did not.
No. This.
Good catch.
1 minute on that. So while we're waiting on that,
You know my buddy John, when he watches this, is gonna be laughing about that.
apple cider vinegar. We got 1 cup of that.
Oh, wait a minute, you put the vinegar in with the hot water?
No, dude. Jeez. You always get to what, ahead. No, I wanted a half cup of that. Sorry.
He's yelling at me. He's
already
got
messed-
the recipe screwed
Well,
up.
this fancy cup threw me off here. So we got a half cup. Red vinegar, apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar, not
Yeah.
red, apple cider.
1 cup of water.
You dilute the vinegar?
Yes.
I'm skeptical of this whole thing now. I feel like you're screwing it up.
About a teaspoon and a half of salt and about a tablespoon and a half of sugar.
Stick your whole hand in right in there, Jeff.
There you go.
Karen loves that with her coffee.
Yep.
Perfect.
Jeff changed the transmission on his way here before coming, so I got like,
Get his whole hand in there. It's like putting your whole mouth in there.
I don't even have 10W30 in my sugar now. I've got like straight up grease.
Nate, do you have
in there.
tongs?
I do.
Can I have a set of tongs, please?
Are you gonna fish all those onions up with tongs?
Yes.
Okay, I got something better.
Actually, we can strain it. If you have a strainer, whatever you want.
How about a spider?
Spider, perfect. So you just want to mix this up, break down the sugar and salt. Last thing I wanted to do, throw some.
Hey, this is not what I was expecting. I thought this was
Peppercorns.
simpler. This seems like more steps than I'm prepared for.
It's complicated, Jeff.
So all this does is it softens the onions a little bit and gets them ready to take the broth.
If I don't like these, I'm gonna hold it against you
Guys
for the
have
rest
never.
of our lives.
So this stays good in the fridge for a couple weeks too, which is nice.
Really?
Yeah, and the longer that you leave it in here, the more flavor it takes on.
Did you want me to get you the tongs?
No, this is perfect.
Smush them all down.
You just want to make sure you get enough brine in there. Let it cool in the fridge.
By the way, who is Brian?
Nate, you're up.
Not me. I'm gonna have Chris work on the pork. Again, this is super simple. You can cook it just in water, but I have some other ingredients here. But I need Chris, if you can crack that open, cut it into like 1.5 by 1.5.
Sorry, Jeff's taking it.
Jackass! 1.5 to 1.5 by cubes, and throw them in the pressure cooker. I actually don't even bother browning it. If you wanted to take the time to brown it, it would improve the texture a little bit, but you don't have to. So now what do I put in for liquid? So I use water and slide it in here, Jeff, and get away from my face. So I'm gonna start with water diluted with barbecue sauce. So I like KC Masterpiece. You can use whatever you want. It's probably 70% water, 30% KC Masterpiece, depending on how much meat you have in your pot.
So
a ton of fresh garlic.
quick word with the KC Masterpiece is that it's not as sweet as like
It's
Sweet
not
Baby
as
Ray's.
sweet as Sweet Baby Ray's, right?
For something like this, I think it's, I commented to Nate earlier, it's a nice flavor.
It's actually a little blunted. It's a little dull.
Right.
Which is kind of what I'm looking for here because I'm going to brighten it up with other ingredients.
Sorry, didn't mean to distract you. Anyways.
Fair enough. So this ingredient is a rare one. This is mushroom soy sauce.
Never seen it.
Believe it or not, my hairdresser, who's from Laos, bought this at whatever store she goes to and gave it to me. This stuff is like an umami bomb. Like ridiculous. I'll have you guys try it. Maybe you try it on camera in a minute. It is like...
Yeah. Mushroom sauce?
It's like soy sauce times 40, right? It is ridiculously strong.
Did he cut that too small?
No, that's
Oh,
perfect.
you
That's perfect.
bite it.
Are you sure?
So then I also throw in
I love this thing.
Cuba chicken bouillon,
You're gonna make everybody sick. Don't move so much.
and then as much fresh garlic as you want. I got about 7 cloves here. What I do is after the pork is nice and tender and I drain off the dirty water from the pork, I keep the garlic in and mix that into the pulled pork. So it gives it a nice sort of subtly garlic flavor, and then just salt to taste. So I know that was a lot. Let's recap. All of this is optional. The main thing you need to do is cut the pork up like Chris did.
Which is it's boneless pork
butt.
I don't think I ever mentioned that. $6 he spent on this dinner. That's it. $6.
No, you got it. The onion was like another $1. You got
Feel
the,
better now?
Yeah.
Does that bring you comfort?
Not at all. It's normal. Just another griddle guy video.
So Chris doesn't get any now. He's not having any pulled pork.
That's all right.
All right, so if you cut the pork up, the pork butt for $6, jackass, what you end up with, this is gonna cook in 45 minutes. If you leave it as a whole roast, it's gonna take a lot longer. So then all of this is optional, but the two main things that you need are diluted barbecue sauce and water, right? Everything else here is optional. Let's get that all on the stove now.
Jeff's drinking.
All right.
Cheers.
So this is all up to you how much you put in of any ingredient. I generally start with a healthy dose of barbecue sauce of your choice. Not a ton, because barbecue sauce is loaded with sugar. From here, really, it's just water to cover the meat by, not cover, but come just about to the top of the meat. I know a lot of the time when you're braising, you go 2/3 up. I actually like to come to just about the top of the meat. Chicken bouillon cube. This is,
That's what she said.
I break it up, drop it in. This adds a lot of flavor. Remember, this pork's gonna render a lot of fat.
Why chicken versus beef?
I don't
Beef
know.
bouillon. I'm just curious.
You know what, Chris? If you want to do beef, you can do
I was
beef.
just wondering if there was a reason why. That's all.
Because I don't have beef in my cabinet.
Okay. Would you?
That's the reason. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cloves of garlic. Dump them in, spread them around. That's gonna help flavor the seasoning, the water. And then this stuff, the mushroom soy sauce, pretty strong. Yes, very strong.
Really good in the back end though. Great
So
stuff.
I usually just give a couple little shakes, and that's pretty much it. So cover it, bring it up to pressure, set the timer for 45 minutes. Once it comes to pressure, 45 minutes, natural release, and I'll tell you guys, I mean, these guys can tell you, Jeff, you've already tasted some. It's really good pulled pork. Really,
Very
really good.
moist. Yummy.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see you in 45 minutes. All right, so my test for whether or not we're ready is I uncover it and take a fork and see how easily the fork pierces any of the meat. So in this case, the fork is piercing the meat
This is
Oh,
killing
it's
me.
already breaking it up.
very
The
easily.
anticipation.
Yeah, it's good. It smells good.
So to Chris's
Delight.
delight, it's ready to go.
Nice.
Everything that you see in the pot, I discard other than the meat.
All right.
So let me grab a spatula,
It almost
and
looks
do
like
that.
the burrito sauce there.
Yeah, it smells like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
And that was
does.
pretty much 95% fat too, right?
So scoop this out. You guys may wonder why I don't use the liquid.
Yeah.
The reason why is the liquid is loaded with pork fat. So it's gonna create a real greasy product, greasy flavor at the end. Mm-hmm. But if you leave it in the pot, you can use it as a little bit of lubrication after you add whatever flavorings you want.
Yeah. Will that garlic disappear on you, Nate? It's all gone? Did it disintegrate?
Pretty much.
It's looking good.
It's looking
It's
too.
looking good. I'm gonna pour.
No, because I'm kind of particular about it. Sorry, Jeff.
Shocker.
I don't go overboard with the barbecue sauce.
Who am I kidding about giving him a hard time
Yeah,
about that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
So I start with barbecue sauce and then a little bit of lemon. If you want to grate some garlic, Jeff, I add lemon juice or lime juice, your choice, just to brighten the flavor because most of your commercial grade, it's probably enough. Most of your commercial grade barbecue sauces are very rich. They're very heavy.
How much do you want?
The whole clove.
Do you want more than one?
No, just one. Perfect. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but the pork is so tender, you can just smush it with the back of the spoon.
Breaking it up, yeah.
Somebody
break it
cut
up.
that really well.
Somebody did.
Really well.
Wow, it's
And
amazing
there's-
how quickly that just...
There's enough heat there that Jeff's grated garlic is gonna very quickly permeate the flavor. Actually, Chris, good smell. Want to lean forward?
Yeah.
Smell that garlic?
It smells smoky.
I never would have thought lemon. Never
You can
would've
do
thought
lemon or you can do lime.
Yeah.
Right, just a little something to brighten it up. And most of the time, I feel like it needs a little salt. So I'm gonna grab a little bit.
It's gonna be hot, careful.
Yeah, no, she was blazing hot. Actually, that's quite delicious. But just a little bit of salt to bring out the flavor. Wow, that is really good. Jeff, do you mind?
that. Says the guy that's impossible to please.
Well,
That says something.
listen, you gents can taste it in a minute. Here you go, a little bit more with this.
If we're being honest, a lot of the stuff that we do is like we don't do it that often. You make this often. So you
Yes,
got-
I do make
you-
this
You
often.
got this down pat.
No, I think he surprised himself with this batch.
All right.
I really do.
That is some delicious. I'll say for me, not necessarily Chris or Jeff, but some delicious pulled pork.
We'll be the judge. Right off the bat, I got
Oh, yeah.
some sort of smoky or something. What is that? Because it's not smoked.
I know, it tastes wicked like smoke.
I think that's
Is it the mushroom?
It's just the pork.
not using too much,
Barbecue sauce.
barbecue
That's
sauce.
delicious. Very good, Nate.
But
I smell the smokiness, and he didn't put anything in it. Maybe it's that umami stuff that he put in there.
That's what I'm thinking.
That tastes really
It
good.
does taste good.
It's really
This,
good.
this deserves a 1, 2, 3, done.
All right, but now we gotta actually put it into a quesadilla.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's delicious.
That is excellent.
Something like there's some flavor on the front end that
Yeah, it tastes smoky.
Dude, actually, I'll tell you what it is. It's between the garlic, the lemon, and this, they all have a lot of umami flavor. So the garlic does,
you get that.
the lemon does, but it's
think-
not overpowering.
I think the salt maybe
It's
brings
just-
that out a little bit too.
Unlike most pulled pork, when you taste it and you're like, oh, I taste a ton of barbecue sauce.
Wow, that's good.
That's what I'm
I don't taste
saying.
any barbecue sauce.
That's what, yeah. That's what
But
I
in
was
the end,
thinking.
you're like, wow, that's really savory and delicious.
Yeah, that is very good.
You know?
Let's
Wow.
put this together.
So, yeah, let's put it together. All right, so now that we have our pulled pork, which is not greasy, not overly flavored, make your quesadillas, right? So, what I have here is some cilantro, some white onion. For Chris, he likes it hot. We got some jalapeno, some wraps. I got the frying pan preheating on the oven.
We got the best pulled pork you'll ever have right here.
That really was delicious.
Chris is going real heavy on the pulled pork.
No, we're good. That's not heavy.
You grab that. So we're not gonna do this on the griddle, but you can do it on the griddle,
It's been
obviously.
raining all night, guys.
Yeah, it's very wet outside. How much cheese are you gonna do? Chris loves cheese.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw some oil in the frying pan.
Cilantro and white onion. This is a great mix right here, Nate.
And I do have the
So what are we doing the pickled onions?
And some jalapeno.
pickled onions are coming at the end when it's cooked.
Okay.
Quite a bit of jalapenos there too.
So this is Chris's. So I just
More
dumped
cheese on
about
top so it sticks. Sorry, Nate.
2 tablespoons of oil in the frying pan. Yeah, smear that around.
You just can't help yourself. You just can't freaking help yourself.
Hey, this is
Chris always goes overboard.
Anytime you put Chris next to a wrap, you guarantee it's going to be overstuffed.
He's gonna overfill it.
Look how
He's gonna
flat this
overfill it.
is. I'll bring this over to you, Nate.
Over to me. Over to me.
You're cooking it.
All right, so griddle or frying pan tonight. We're doing frying pan. Got about 2 tablespoons of oil in there.
Smells good in this room right now, I'll tell you that.
And but I will add, we have the oven on convection 170 because the plan is, it's a simple way to feed your whole family. So you want the oven on so you can take the quesadillas off, cut them, well, maybe not cut them up, but put them in a pan right here,
Yep.
right? And pop them in the oven. Hopefully, about 50 minutes, you have a pulled pork dinner for your family.
Yes.
And the reality is, we're talking like an hour and maybe 10 minutes from start to finish.
Start to finish?
And if I were you, I
that's-
would cook extra pork because you can always use that in the next meal.
And that's an hour and 10 minutes and 45 minutes of just doing other things while you wait.
And we're doing 1 in 1 pan, but if we had the griddles going right now,
Right.
we do 3 of them at a time, Nate.
Exactly.
Which should all come out.
There we go. Nice.
This is the easy part, guys. It
that.
doesn't matter how much you cook it or how much you don't. It's all how brown you want it.
GBD.
GBD.
Golden brown
Right.
delicious.
So we're gonna flip this onto the cutting board. This is the advantage to a weeknight
Sorry,
meal.
Jeff. Oh, that's hot.
These onions are awesome.
Advantage to a weeknight meal is I have the oven set on 170 for warm. Hear that crisp?
Look at how crisp. You can see it, you can hear it.
Right? So we're gonna move these over to a rack.
You can hear me chewing on my
I thought you guys said
delicious
those are really
onion.
thick and too much in there. Those look perfect.
Actually, Chris, you're right. I do take it back, Chris. So we're gonna grab these, we're gonna pop these in the oven while we do the next batch. 170 convection should keep them nice and crisp. So,
Jeff, I'm ready to eat that now.
Right.
next batch, Chris.
I love
next
those.
batch. All right, so after all that, here is the meal. Here's the plan.
I'm eating.
Chris is on his way out, but during the weeknight, if you use the
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
well, you're skinny. If during the week you use the pressure cooker, you can
telling
turn
me.
out some really, really, really good pulled pork from your pressure cooker or your Instapot. Thank you, Chris. How do you feel about the pulled pork?
The pulled pork on its own was amazing. Like for a 45-minute smoked pork taste, I caught somehow. That mushroom, soy, whatever it was, that stuff is
Delicious.
delicious.
This stuff's a bomb.
You throw the jalapenos and the cheese and the cilantro. Oh my God. Nate, effing home run. Honest to God.
It's good stuff.
Oh my God.
It really is. It really is. I love this, and it's quick, simple, easy, and short money. So,
$6.
I love
Chris loves putting that out.
I love the pickled onions. Throwing some of those.
But in
on
any
it.
case,
It's worth the hour and a half versus 8 to 12 hours of smoking in your own pork butt, without a doubt.
yeah, agreed. Like the level of effort versus the return.
Yes, this is delicious. You can't beat this.
And to Jeff's point, the pickled onion, the cucumber, you don't have to do that, but
Nice and fresh.
Compliments it very nicely.
right,
Nice.
you're eating something very rich. It's rich, it's heavy, it's barbecue sauce, it's cheese, it's fatty pork.
Yeah.
You know, so to have that,
Cucumber nice and clean, it kind of cleanses your palate a little bit.
yeah, exactly. Great combination. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you found this useful. We'll see you guys on the next video.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll say it for Jeff.
Cheers.
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 See you in the next video.